So I just got my yoni egg. Now what? Today's topic is on yoni egg care. What to do when you get your yoni egg. So make sure you stick around all the way to the end because I'm going to teach you how to cleanse it, clear it, program it, charge it, insert it, and remove it. And finally, I'll share with you another one of my amazing yoni eggs and tell you all about its properties. Welcome to Holistic Yoni Care TV. I'm Dominique Danielle, and today we're talking about yoni egg care. What to do when you get your yoni egg. So I'm going to be talking about number one, cleansing. How to physically cleanse your yoni egg. This is just simply about cleaning. Then we're going to move on to clearing. How to energetically clear your yoni egg. As we know, yoni eggs are crystals. They are minerals. They come from the earth. They pick up on things, and so it's important to know how to energetically clear them. The third thing we're going to talk about is how to program your egg. Yes, you can actually program a crystal. The fourth thing we're going to talk about is charging your egg. This is bringing more of the cosmic energy into your egg to empower that egg to do whatever it is that you are intent upon. And finally, we're going to talk about inserting and removing your egg. Now, really quickly, before we dive into the first juicy tip that I have for you, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, hit the notifications bell so that you'll be the first to know whenever I upload another video. As you know, I'm here every Wednesday bringing you the best of what I have. And if you feel that this might be helpful to somebody in your community, go ahead and share this out with your friends. So let's jump right into the topic. First of all, let's talk about how to cleanse your egg. Cleansing your yoni egg is quite simple and does not require harsh cleansing agents. You can use hot water, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, cucumber juice, or even an unscented castile soap. Now, the very first thing you want to do when you get your egg is to heat 1 cup of water and about 2 tablespoons or so of apple cider vinegar. Now, you don't want to bring this to a boil. Just make sure it's nice and hot. Once the water is hot, you can transfer it to a heat-safe container that contains your egg, like maybe a small glass bowl, and allow that to sit for about 1 to 2 minutes, okay? And if it's a drilled egg, you might want to take a chenille stem, which is also known as a pipe cleaner, and run that through the hole a few times just to make sure that everything is nice and clean. And then after that, you can rinse your egg in lukewarm water and just set it on a nice clean cloth and allow it to cool for several minutes. I know this is a no-brainer, but I must say never ever insert a hot egg into your yoni. You want to make sure that your egg has had a chance to cool off. You also want to avoid any extreme temperature fluctuations. So this is why you want to make sure that the water that you use for your egg is not boiling hot, and also you don't want to take an egg out of hot water and put it in cold water because that can cause your egg to be vulnerable to cracking. So now that you know how to physically cleanse your egg, let's talk about clearing your egg energetically. Clearing your yoni egg is very important. Not only do our crystals pick up on energy from us, from our thoughts, from our experiences, but crystals can also pick up on energy from around our environment. So from time to time, it's really nice to enhance the cleansing process by following up with just an overall energetic clearing, especially if you're working on releasing any type of emotional attachments or energetic toxins and you're working with your egg. You want to make sure that you're energetically clearing your egg on a regular basis. Crystals are minerals. They come from deep within the earth. Therefore, they respond very well to the subtle vibrations of the earth element. You can use grounding methods to cleanse your crystal, such as placing it into a bowl of salt. You can allow the crystal to sit there overnight or just for a little while. You can also take your yoni egg and sit it on the ground. If you have a safe place, maybe in your backyard where it won't be disturbed, you can place it onto the grass or even bury your egg in the soil overnight. This is a really cleansing way to reconnect your egg with the earth and to clear that energy field. Another way to clear your egg is to smudge it. You can use sage, Palo Santo, frankincense, and myrrh. Whatever you would normally use to smudge yourself or your space, you can also smudge your crystals. Another place to set your crystal out is under the light of the full moon. Now, I will say something about the sun. Be very wary of placing crystals in sunlight because sometimes, depending on the crystal, you may actually change the composition and it could damage the stone. The stone may change colors. So the best bet is to don't really use sunlight unless it's maybe a clear quartz. Moonlight is very gentle, it's subtle, it's very clearing, and it can help to really realign your egg. So use the moonlight. Another way is if you are attuned to Reiki, you can hold your egg in the palm of your hands and use Reiki symbols. Use Reiki energy to clear your energy field of your egg. You can also bless your egg using your own spoken word and holding your egg in your hands. You don't have to be a Reiki master to use energy to clear your egg. And finally, you can use sound healing to clear your egg. Yes, you can either use your voice by speaking, singing. You can use a Tibetan singing bowl or one of the crystal singing bowls. Rattles are also excellent. Let's say you're working with a black obsidian egg and you're working through some trauma, releasing a lot. You might want to take a rattle after you've already cleansed your egg physically. Take that rattle and shake it. Break up any stagnant energy that might be sitting around that crystal. This is an excellent way to clear your egg energetically. So now let's talk about how to program your egg. Now, as I mentioned earlier in this video, crystals are highly responsive. They are another type of being that hails from the mineral kingdom. So they are also programmable. So the most important thing you can do when you have any crystal, especially a yoni egg, is after you've cleaned it, you've cleared the energetic field, you want to program your yoni egg, program your crystal, because this personalizes it and this really helps you to form your own personal bond with this amazing stone that you're going to be working with in such a beautiful and intimate way. So here's how you do it. You want to take your yoni egg, place it into the palm of your hand. I like to use my right hand because the right hand is your giving hand. And you want to picture light surrounding your crystal. So you can close your eyes or just use your imagination. Out loud, you want to say, I dedicate this crystal to the highest good of all. May it be used in light and love. Now, if you want, you can tweak that, turn it into your own personal dedication. I got that from Judy Hall, who is the well-known author of the Crystal Bible. At that point, you can go ahead and say, I program this crystal for, and then state whatever your purpose is. After you've done that, just take a few moments, take a few breaths, and allow that program to infuse into the crystal, and there you have it. It is that simple. You've cleansed your egg, you've cleared your egg, you've programmed your egg, and now let's talk about charging your crystal yoni egg. So one of my favorite ways to charge my egg is to place it under the light of the full moon. This goes back to what I was saying earlier. So you can use the full moon's light to clear your egg. You can also use it to charge your egg. This is where astrology gets really fun. You can actually follow the cycles of the moon. Familiarize yourself with what sign the moon happens to be in and what is the significance of that sign. And know that when you're placing your egg into that moonlight, that those are the qualities that you're looking to infuse into your egg. And so this is also a great way to develop your practice of aligning yourself with the cycles of the moon. Another way to charge, we mentioned earlier, is Reiki. If you are attuned to Reiki, even in Reiki 1, you can go ahead and charge your egg using the Reiki master symbols if you know what they are. And of course, the most salient and juicy way to charge your yoni egg is using your yoni. Remember, yoni is a Sanskrit word that means source, origin. I like to call it the sacred origin of life. Nothing comes into this existence before coming through the womb, the cosmic womb, the yoni. It is the source of all creation, the life force itself. So use your yoni to charge your egg. You've cleansed your egg, you've cleared it, you've programmed it, you've charged it. Now let's get to the fun of inserting and removing your egg. The very first thing you want to do is to warm your egg. You can actually go to the sink and run warm water over your egg. You don't necessarily need it to be hot. You just want to make sure that your egg is not extremely cold because that may not be as comfortable for you. Then you want to use something like a gentle water-based lubricant, maybe coconut oil, saliva, or nothing at all if you don't need it. And go ahead and gently massage your yoni egg in. Invert your egg and insert the larger side. For a drilled egg, you may want to loop unwaxed dental floss through the hole. You want to make sure it's unflavored, unwaxed, completely plain, natural dental floss through the hole. You can also use something like a waxed hemp cord, whatever you feel is most comfortable. There are also cords that have beeswax, natural beeswax. Keep the strings trailing out of your yoni. This helps for easier removal, and there's also other things, as we mentioned in the last video. You can use this for adding small weights if you want to do a little bit of strength training. So there are many reasons why you'll use a string with a yoni egg. You don't have to. If you don't have a drilled egg, then you can just simply insert the larger end into your yoni. And at this point is when you can go ahead and embark on your yoni care practices: yoni yoga, yoni breathing, sexual intercourse, self-pleasuring. The possibilities are endless. Birthing your egg is always going to be easiest when your vaginal muscles are 100% relaxed. You don't want to push, pull, or force your egg out of your yoni. Just use your breath to relax your muscles, trusting that she will release the egg when she is ready. And trust is the key word here. One of the biggest, most important, and most valuable lessons that we can learn through a yoni egg practice is self-trust. And so the removal, the birthing of your egg is a big part of that. Now, there are a few instances in which it is not recommended to use the yoni egg. Number one is during menstruation. The second instance is if you are pregnant. Also, if you have an IUD, an intrauterine device, we want to make sure that you do not use the yoni egg because we wouldn't want to dislodge the IUD or cause any type of interruption there. Finally, if your yoni is dealing with any type of active infection of any sort, or if you are in the more advanced stages of, per se, like a uterine prolapse, we don't want you using a yoni egg, just for your own safety and comfort. Everything we talk about on this channel is for informational purposes only. My goal is to give you enough information so you can go out and do your own research on what's going to work best for you, your body, your yoni. So make sure you talk to your doctor first before incorporating any changes to your normal care routine. And if you have questions, of course, I'm always here, and make sure you run those by your own healthcare practitioner. And finally, for our yoni egg spotlight for the day, woohoo, we have Bloodstone. So I showed you Bloodstone in my last video. I mentioned it very briefly. We focus more on red jasper. So today I want to talk to you about the properties of Bloodstone because this is a very power-packed stone. Keywords to keep in mind: strength, courage, purification, vitality, truth, perseverance. Bloodstone is known as the great purifier, the stone of the spiritual warrior who follows her heart and takes inspired action based on truth. Okay, it's also the great healer and protector. It corresponds to the earth, water, and fire elements. So this stone can actually work with the three lower chakras. It is a grounding stone, so it works with the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra. Bloodstone is all about learning how to fully embody your truth. Also, it is a purifying stone. It's been known for many years. Legends have spoken of Bloodstone being used to purify the blood, to banish negativity, to assist the body in eliminating toxins. It can also help you to develop greater self-confidence, self-trust, and a much more practical, embodied approach to spirituality. So that brings us to the conclusion of this week's discussion on Yoni Egg Care. If you've enjoyed this video or found it helpful, make sure you give it a like down below. Also, tune in next week on Wednesday because we're going to dive deep into two of the biggest questions about working with Yoni eggs. Number one, what happens if I think my Yoni egg is stuck? And number two, what does it mean if my Yoni egg keeps falling out? What is the deal? So make sure that you tune in because this is going to be a very informative discussion and I can't wait to connect with you again. In the meantime, remember, you get to choose how you show up in life. Love yourself fiercely, own your story, and say yes to you. Namaste.